Oh, welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, this is another episode about making my own composts. This is for the containers. My previous video, I'll stick it in a card, was for the seed and potting on compost that I'm going to be using. And these are some of the ingredients now that I'm going to be mixing together to make my own, which I've done now for a couple of years. And in my playlist, homemade liquid plant foods and compost mixes, it's there as well, but I thought I'd do a nice fresh video because we've got some different ingredients. So let's go and have a look at the raw materials first and where they're kept, and we'll have a little look around. So this is my compost wormery runoff bin. This is the liquid. It's collected down there via a pipe. This is completely sealed, this galvanised drum, even though it's got holes in. And in the previous videos, the rats love to try and get in here. You can see where they've gnawed it, and they've even tried gnawing at the galvanised nails. And unfortunately, these bits of wood dropped out, and Mr. Rat has been in there turning it for me. Oh, thank you very much. I needed that. And this is the material. It's some of it still hasn't broken down, but I can throw those back in afterwards. I did put all the fresh materials that side so we could migrate the worms over, and as soon as this half's gone, I'll put some more fresh material this side. Hopefully the worms will come across, as long as the rats don't beat them to it. So that's the material there in the middle. This will be 2 parts compost bin. As you can see, we've still got some stuff that hasn't broken down. This is why they store so well, beetroot in moisture. They do tend to take a lot of rotting down, but this material has really broken down well, and I would have started that bin off around about this time of the year in 2019. So there's 2 barrelfuls of the compost wormery bin goes into this mix, or to a particular mix, and then we have the 3-year-old wood chips from the paths. I've been started to take these. As you can see there, the paths are quite old, but because I've revamped my allotment, there's new wood chips there now completely. So it won't be until 2023, 2024 that I'll be able to harvest any from here on plot 3. But plot 1 has now been going about 2.5 years. So what I would normally do is top up with wood chips, but because of the restrictions, it's a bit difficult, so I haven't been able to top up. So I would scrape back. If I put this year's wood chips on, I try and top up every year, then I'll be able to harvest that. And as you can see, I don't mind if I drop compost, anything on there, and I am going to be adding, as an activator, the compost liquid runoff bin onto all my wood chips to help them break down ready for next year. Horti Hugh actually used cow manure liquid on his wood chips, and he found it a great success, so it looks like I won't be wasting my time. Pop across to his channel and check him out. That's Horti Hugh. I'll leave it in the description below. So these are my new pallet compost storage bins, and one of the next ingredients is the 2-year-old leaf mould. Again, adds a lot of moisture retention like the wood chips does. This is my last year's mix, so the potatoes have been in this mainly, and they continue. The potatoes do a great job. They take some of the nutrients and all the bacteria, living nearly said orgasms again, guys. Organisms actually finish the job off. And then the last 2 bays are my spent compost. This one, the spent compost that I find the cannabis growers unscrupulously dump and throw away, has got some perlite in, but for this, for the mix, I'm using just ordinary cocoa coir. It can have the roots in and everything. They'll break down after a couple of years. I do find that the roots from the cannabis plants do take a long time to break down. I know a lot of my fellow viewers, subscribers, creators are all struggling to get hold of compost, so this is why I'm showing this, especially with the seed compost as well, which was in a previous video. While doing some of these dusty jobs, you should wear a mask. A little bit hard to get hold of them, but I do like to add a little bit of lime. I'm doing it now so that it mixes in well, and trying not to make too much dust, because our allotment shop is shut as well, so even the likes of lime and stuff like that is not so easy to get hold of. And we also add log ashes. These are clean log ashes from wood off my log burner. I've got plenty, so why not use them? These are the bits from the leaf mould, the 2-year-old leaf mould that we sieved earlier for that, and we'll just get all these mixed in there. I'm not worried about it being lumpy. Like we said, we'll let the process continue. You might think that's a big pile, but I bet you all know how quickly we all use compost. We buy 10 bags. It doesn't last long at all. I've found over 20,000 litres of compost since I've been allotmenteering. And it's got to go somewhere. This is part of a latest find. It's got quite a bit of perlite and it's very dry. Let's add it in. And these are 30 odd litre bags. They're square, 30 exactly. I do like the square bags better than the round ones. And as I find any other big stuff, we can take it out. Just checking for potatoes. I normally do this for my potatoes, but this year you're all going to hate me, you're all going to tell me off, but I'm going to plant them into the ground, into the new pallet collar bed, and I'm going to leave some in, and I'm going to let it be a permanent bed, and I'll just have to monitor it for disease. But if you spot the blight early on, potato, I normally crush them up and just drop them back there. So if we do get blight, and we always get blight, I'll have to re-evaluate it, but we'll see what happens. Right, I'm going to mix that up to a nice consistency. We can have a look at it at the end, and I'll see if I've forgotten to add anything. I normally do. I'm just looking at the consistency, and I've still got the barrow full of compost bin material to add, but I'm going to add another wheelbarrow full of the spent compost as well, just to give it a little bit of extra life. Well, that's that done. I just want to quickly show you something. So this is the material we've got now. Trying to break up. We've got the odd twig in. Well, it may not be a twig, it might be the peas or runner beans. Things that don't break down are the melon stickers. I do try and remove as many as I can. And something else that's really annoying me is the weed membrane, that type. And all the other types, they do rot eventually, and after 3 years they start flailing a bit. But I'm happy with that mix now. The log ashes have disappeared, which is more of a concern. And let's fill the pot up that we're going to be using the wick system in the greenhouse. Just quickly show you. So these wicks will be in the bottom, pushed up into these pots. I'm going to fill this one up now. There's the guttering system. I've taken the advice because of things going green. I've just been testing it really. But people did say to any areas that were exposed, make sure we cover everything up. But Carl from Phillipstown no dig allotment, or he used to be nitrogen fix no dig, give me the inspiration. I've got the valve the same as his from where he got his, and Alan from the Dawn Chorus plot, he's also doing something similar with the wick system for the carrots. Well worth a look, and have a look, see what they're doing. And this guttering goes the full distance around the greenhouse, and where the pomegranate plant is, the guttering's covered to stop it from going green. I'll put the description of both their channels below. Now, I normally add manure, but of course, again, manure is difficult to get hold of, and in some certain cases I'll be putting the manure in the bottom. What I'm going to be doing is getting these pots filled, trying to keep them square. They want to go how they want to, but I'm going to just test it first before I fill the rest up. This pile here is not going to hurt. That's one pile. It's whether I can put a piece of cardboard on there, just support it while I put a slit in the bottom, and then put the two ends, leaving the bottom bit in a circle so it picks up as much water as we can. And I've done an experiment on this with some cocoa coir that was really dry, and it actually soaked. Within a week or two it had actually made a good job. Now, I don't add anything else to this, no nutrients, no nothing. I may add some comfrey or whatever, depending on what's in these containers at a future date, once we've got it all up and running. But if you like the content of this video, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, thumbs up, thumbs down. The worms don't like the lime very much, yeah, those comments are really important for interaction. This is how I learn, and then what I learn I experiment with and share with you. But I love this. So, how much did this pile of compost cost me? Let's have a think. Compost bin, nothing. Wood chips, nothing. The free compost that gets fly tipped on the side of the road, nothing. Log ashes, nothing. All the logs I get are free from the fallen trees. Gas bill £13 a quarter, or month shall we say. So in actual fact I'm saving money, so the ashes are, you know, coming back and giving me a bit of money. The only thing that it's cost me is, let's call it £1 for the garden lime. So all that compost there has cost me £1 for very, very little effort. What a glorious day. It's a Saturday, first Saturday in April. I've been sent home from work now. I think it's furloughed, so part of my wages gets paid by the government. It's a little bit of a pay cut, but it looks like I'm going to be at home for at least 3 weeks to a month, and maybe a bit longer, depending on how long it is before the things that I look after back up and running again, because of the lockdown here in the UK and all over the world. Stay safe, stay healthy, my friends. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, ta-ra for now.